Hello everybody. I'm on my way to a coffee shop to do some writing, and yeah, it's a beautiful day outside, perfect for walking, so I thought I would take a stroll and record on the way. So yeah, let's see how this goes. I feel a lot like Toby Turner. I feel like I should be saying, hello once again, audience. Although I guess he doesn't really say that in his vlogs. He goes, intro of darkness, then redness, then whiteness. Like that. Only in LA. First of all, Johnny, I think I would rather have a hamster-sized horse, because a horse-sized hamster sounds terrifying. Second of all, I liked your video about education, and it was great. But I did have a couple questions about it. One, how would you define a worthy salary for teachers? I mean, you're not saying anything about what that might be. You're just kind of saying that the way they're paid now isn't enough. And I'd like to know what you think a fair salary would be for a teacher. As a writer, walking to write his, screenplay / novel that will probably never be made, and musician, I would love to actually be paid $30,000 to $40,000 a year. That would be pretty sweet for me, actually. It's amazing how little you can actually live on, as even in one of the most expensive cities in the country, Los Angeles. I mean, I have a good apartment, with a couple other guys, but that's no big deal. I mean, I have plenty to eat, and a roof over my head, and a little bit of spending money to spend, and a little bit of saving money to save up for a wedding. So, I mean, I make not that much money, but I'm doing okay. So it's all a matter of perspective. I mean, to me, a teacher's salary is a lot of money, but, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry I haven't posted a video in the last few days. I was super busy and didn't actually even get to my apartment until yesterday. And then I had a funeral to go and play at. And that took up most of the day. And then I was not even home for the rest of the day. So it was pretty crazy. Everybody's looking at me. Bikers! Mormon bikers. I don't actually know where I'm going. I should probably pause and look up directions.
And he's falling.
This is kind of awkward. Anyway, I don't have a whole lot to talk about today. I just wanted to mention a few thoughts about your video, John, and then I wanted to talk a little bit about writing. I use a site called Scribophile, where you post your own work, chapters of a novel, or little short stories, or whatever it is, and other people will critique it. And in order to post things, you have to earn points by critiquing other people's work. So it's kind of just a mutually beneficial thing where people critique each other's. Ooh, I was really close there. Where people critique each other's literary work, and then get their work critiqued in return. It's really cool, and you can make some really cool relationships there, and get some pretty good critiques, and some are better than others for sure. It's a really good exercise for you too, as the critiquer, to look at a story and either decide how it's working or not working, and why that might be. Old man across the street is staring at me. Anyway, I'd say the biggest flaw I find in other people's stories, and of course in mine as well, in many ways, and something I can be more on the lookout as a result of noticing it in other people's stories, because you're much more objective about other people's stories than you are about your own. That is for sure. You miss a lot of things in your own work that you would tear apart in somebody else's work. But anyway, one of the biggest things I've found that people get wrong is just having way too much fluff in their story. For example, in one story I critiqued yesterday, the half of the chapter was spent with this one character deciding whether or not she was going to climb out this window and escape her house with her friend, I guess, this guy. And the whole time it made no sense, because they were trying to come up with this convoluted plan when there was a window right in front of her. She could have climbed down into this tree and onto the ground like the other guy did in the very beginning of the chapter. And it was just this long drawn out thing where they were trying to show this romantic tension between the two of them, but it just wasn't working, and it didn't make any sense anyway. And everything in your story needs to be there for a very good reason. Unnecessary words just kind of are weights that drag down the pacing of the story and make the reader kind of bored, because they don't know what's going on or why it's happening or what's the significance of it. Another big thing is people will tell you all kinds of things about their world in the middle of all the action. Like in the same story, they were hiding from these guys that were trying to find them, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the scene where they're hiding, the narrator goes into this long explanation of how these guys who are looking for them are the agents of this government thing, and this is how they work, and this is how they're organized, and it just broke all the tension, because you're like, what? They're looking for you right now. Why are you telling us all this stuff? We don't need to know. We know that there's some danger involved, and whoa, squirrel! Anyway, it's a really cool site, and I'm really enjoying using it. And if any of you are interested in writing, it's a good place to go to get some feedback. Anyway, I'm at the coffee shop now, so I better go, and I'm gonna get some writing done and probably do some more critiquing as well. And then I got a show tonight at Tilted Kilt up in Valencia, and then you guys don't know what that is, I guess. But anyway, Josie or Johnny, whichever one of you makes a video first, my question to you is, would you rather be able to fly or be invisible? Hope I didn't bore you too much with my boring writer's talk, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.